Hey guys, happy Friday. Well, we made it through the week, and I would like to say it was definitely a busy week. But what I want to end with on this week, on this Friday, I should say, I want to talk a little bit about emergency preparedness. And a lot of times we aren't prepared for emergencies, i.e., I don't know, tornado, fire, flood, no heat. So those are emergency preparednesses. So when you have an assisted living facility or when you're starting to open your assisted living facility, you have to put together a book or a manual that's called emergency preparedness. What is that? You're preparing for an emergency. So say, for instance, you have an emergency at your assisted living facility. Where are you going to be relocating your loved ones, or your residents, I should say? I call mine loved ones, but your residents. Where are you relocating them to? Have you thought about it? So when you're putting your procedures together, you have to have a relocation address. So I'm going to give you an example. Can you relocate them to another assisted living facility that you own? I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to say no. The reason why I'm going to say yes is because it is an assisted living. I'm going to say no because it may take you over your occupancy. So yes, you can move them over there, but if it's going to take you over the occupancy number, then no, because you're out of, it would be considered a deficiency because you are not licensed for X amount of number of residents that over exceed your license. So yes and no. Now, can you take them to your house? Sure. Can you send them back home? I would say yes, but I would say I wouldn't do it. So the reason why I would not send my residents home if I have an emergency, because once the family members start taking care of them, they may say, hey, you know what? It wasn't that hard or wasn't that challenging taking care of my mother or my father. I'm going to keep them there. So therefore, you may lose one of your residents. So my suggestion to you is if you have to relocate your residents, I would say go to a local hotel, not motel, but a local hotel. You should have a contract with a local hotel that is in the area. Therefore, you can make sure that you will have your residents when it's time to go back to your assisted living facility, and you know that you can possibly get a handicap accessible room. And you know exactly where your residents are. So I would advise you to, like I said, make your relocation address a hotel. So that's a little tip that I wanted to give you for the week when you are planning your emergency preparedness. Make sure you have a relocation to a hotel and not to send your residents home. So that's something that you have to set up. Once the surveyor comes out to look through your manuals, that's one of the manuals that you need to have, and you need to have a relocation in place. So I hope this helps. Have a great Friday, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.